Travelers, and welcome to a special episode of Tales of Teyvat, a Genshin Lore Podcast, where we're bringing Genshin to the big screen in this very special episode.
Join us tonight as we take you into the world of the Oscars, Genshin style.
Are you looking at movies? Well, here we go. TalesofTeyvat.com.
And while you're on our site, make sure that you take a listen to our past special episodes, as well as our past seasons while we get ready for our season 4.
And while you're waiting for season 4, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Tales of Teyvat Pod, and Twitter, Tales of Teyvat, to stay up to date on any fun little things we're doing like this episode. But we have quite the show in store for you today. Actually, I have 2 parts for this episode. Our first segment, our hosts have all gotten to the drawing room and created some amazing storyboarding. I kid, we did not storyboard anything. We did come up with, though, some ideas for our own Genshin Impact films and what characters would be the stars of those films, and then who would star as those characters. There was one rule going into this, which was you could not use a voice actor. Because obviously we know the voice actors are amazing as is at playing their characters.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to do that. So these are all IRL Hollywood actors that you have or may not have seen on the big screen, depending on what you're into. I think this will be very interesting, and we'll learn a little bit about each other and what type of movies and TV we watch.
Which is none.
No, I know. I feel the same way sometimes.
So we're gonna do like who would play certain characters in a live action film, and then also who would play the nominees for the Oscars for Best Actor and Best Actress.
Yes. So we're gonna start with our own live action series. So Al, why don't you go first and tell us one of your films?
I've got a period dramatic rom-com. You know what it's gonna be, and it's Pride and fucking Prejudice, but Genshin style. Of course it is. Of course. Here is the premise. A misunderstood love triangle that really is just Jean and Diluc pining for each other while Kaya is just trying to convince them to make a move. I love period dramas. My favorite Pride and Prejudice will always be the 1990s one, and you'll understand who I put as Diluc because it's young Colin Firth.
Oh.
He is the best Darcy. I don't even care. There is no one else to compare to. I know that's very divisive, but Colin Firth is the best Darcy. Or if I can't have a young Colin Firth, I'm gonna have Peter Gadot.
Peter Giggity.
Gal Gadot?
No, not Gal Gadot. No. Gadot. And I'm like, I could say it like Detroit, but I'm like, Gadoit. It's just so stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
Gadiot.
Like Rashit, Michigan. Anyway,
Who is he?
He's in One Piece.
yes, he plays Shanks in One Piece.
In the One Piece live action, yeah.
Yeah, it does nothing for me.
No problem, because Shanks is a bright redhead, and I'm like, this man's a dapper fucking dick, and I love it. And I'm like, that'd be perfect.
Wait, so who's Peter playing?
He would be Diluc.
Oh, I could see it.
It's either him or young Colin Firth, because who else can do moody like Colin Firth? Oh my god. Oh.
Oh.
Jean, I will say, is Anna Taylor-Joy. Yes, I've seen Emma multiple times.
I thought about using her as my Jean.
Oh, yes, it was nice. She's amazing. I think she did so well in Emma, and though Jean is quite a different character, she could always pull it off. I mean, this is Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Barbara, I had to put Elle Fanning, because I'm also a big fan of The Great.
I thought about her too.
Right? Oh my god. And then Lisa, I had to put Natalie Dormer just because I'm in love with her. I'm in love with Lisa and I'm in love with Natalie Dormer. Every time I hear Lisa say, "Oh, sweetie," I can just hear her say, "Oh, sweetie," with her beautiful nose and her beautiful eyes and her beautiful hair.
Oh, Natalie Dormer. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So then Kaya, I was going back and forth because there are so many people who could play him, but I really enjoy Wriothesley. I am butchering his name so much. I'm so sorry, but I know him from The Haunting of Bly Manor, from The Fall of the House of Usher. He's in so many films. He's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
he's like unreasonably sexy. Like he should not be as sexy as
Unreasonably?
he is, but he's very sexy. Yeah.
And he's the Minotaur in Stray Gods.
Yes. And also, let's not forget, he has the biggest cake ever. And I love it.
Yeah.
He's all about being called daddy on the internet because he is.
Yeah.
Wait, Raoul has a butt?
This man in gray sweatpants, I'm sorry, I was pregnant through the phone. Because, like, legitimately, yes. So then I was like, okay, well, we have to have Krampus and we have to have Varka in this, because if this is going to be a full, like, drama, we need some parental figures. And I was like, Rupert Graves would be a good Krampus, just because he's definitely a fatherly type, but he's not like a menacing man. He's very much a like, I'm a human. I am a regular dude. I don't want to be a regular dude, but I am a dude.
What do we know him from?
I always see his face and know him. I just can't remember what he's been in, because he's been in so many things. He was in V for Vendetta. He's in Sherlock's. He's in Worlds. Just looking on his IMDb page. Mr. Dalloway, The Madness of King George. I mean, he was also in Emma as well.
He was in one of the Doctor Who episodes. Just one.
Just
Oh,
one.
Just one. I saw Doctor Who and I was like, I know Brandon knows this.
I love Doctor Who.
I think most people will know him from Death at a Funeral and like V for Vendetta. That's how I remembered.
Okay, I don't know either of those movies, but he's very cute.
He is. Oh my God. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't say Krampus is like the best father, but like Rupert Graves gives father vibes.
Wow, way to hate on someone who's dead. Shit. He may not be the best father. Well, he's
Listen,
dead.
we already established that he's sexist
Yeah.
and that he hates Jean and wants to kill her. So
Wait, no, that's Varka. I thought we were talking about Krampus.
oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about Varka.
Wait, what?
We can agree to disagree on Krampus. Then let's move to Varka, because this is going to be a theme. I finished the One Piece live action, so a lot of my picks are from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I chose Vincent Reagan. Again, he was in One Piece as Monkey D. Garp, and he was also in 300 in Troy. He's very, like, just rugged, man. Like, if you could think of any general, I think of him. And that's really what that was about, because, like, Varka just seems like that.
Yeah, I agree.
But that is my live action.
I like that. I would love to see that movie, honestly.
Wait, so Rupert Graves is Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
And then who was the other one?
Vincent Reagan.
Vincent Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Varka. Oh, yeah, I could see
Ye-
it.
Oh,
Varka,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Like, even just his jaw. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't know why. I have this picture of Varka in my head as this like short, rotund, balding, gray-haired, slobby guy.
Oh my god.
Well, you're not far off.
That is totally what I see him as.
I mean, he doesn't, in his writings, does not give the best portrayal of, like, a man who can stand on his own.
Tiff, just Google Vincent Reagan.
Yeah, Vincent, I mean, I will take Vincent Reagan any day.
Yeah, he's kind of sexy, honestly, but he's like way sexier than Varka deserves. But
Yeah,
Oh, he was the king in Aquaman.
exactly. Yeah.
Or he's going to be the king in Aquaman too.
Yeah, I remember him from One Piece, but also from 300, because, yeah. He's in a lot of Roman shit, and that's so good.
This picture from Aquaman 2, I'm like, yeah, okay, I see it. The younger ones, I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Well, Al, thank you for your movie. We will consider it for an award, maybe. Brandon, what is your live action movie about?
oh god. All right. So some of these I'm too old to know well, so I had to use Google, but I decided to do Mondstadt. So Jean, Chloe Grace Moretz,
I
who was
love
in
her.
Greta, which I enjoyed, and Tom and Jerry.
She's also the little girl from Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass
Yes.
2. I fucking loved her in that.
She's very good.
She's Carrie too, isn't she, in the Carrie remake?
Oh, yeah.
There's a Carrie remake?
We don't
Yeah,
talk
we
about
don't.
that,
No,
but
yeah, we don't need to talk about that one.
Lisa, Jenna Ortega, aka Wednesday.
Huh. Okay.
Also in Scream, and X, which I love X. It's so good.
I didn't realize Jenna Ortega was an X. That's really funny. One of our friends is always talking about that movie.
Oh yeah, she was like one of the main characters.
Well, I haven't seen X and I haven't seen Pearl.
You need to watch it. So
I
good.
know, I need to. I've heard they're amazing.
Amber, Ariana Grande.
This one kills me because I honestly
see it.
never imagined it until you said it and the ponytail. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's perfect.
You see it.
It's
Everyone
perfect.
sees it.
Yeah,
Once I say it.
totally. And you know what? I can see it more now that she's going to be Glinda the Good Witch in Wicked, Broadway Now movie.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Wow, yeah, I could see her doing that.
Yeah, she looks like she's going to really be fantastic.
All right, Kaya.
No, hang on. I have a thing to say.
Sorry, go ahead.
I will only agree with Ariana Grande if she is her cat character from Victorious.
Oh my God, stop. It's
I
true
haven't seen
though.
that.
It's a Nickelodeon TV show from like 2012. Like
I grew up with Ariana Grande only being cat.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
it.
Me too. Yeah.
And so I have a hard time putting a differentiator or like a barrier of like, no, there's Ariana Grande and this character. I know they're two separate people.
That's where she got her start, Brandon, on the show called Victorious.
When they basically destroyed her fucking hair, it's like, just put her in a wig.
They dyed her hair so that it was like bright red, and she played this character, Kat, that only talked like this and was not really the brightest, but she like really tried.
So there
And then
you
she
go.
get those like Mariah Carey notes, and it was like everyone's favorite.
All right, Kaya, Emma Darcy.
Yes.
They're the one who who likes a Negroni. There was an interview that they had where they say that they like a Negroni with like Prosecco with a lime or something. I'm getting it completely
Ew.
wrong, but it became like a big thing and like people were ordering the drink everywhere and then realizing that they don't actually like Negronis. But they
This
made
is
it a big
gross.
deal. Like
It's a-
But Emma
Acquired.
likes it, so we have to get it.
Yeah, no, they're pretty dope.
I'll have to find the interview because the way that they say it is so seductive and like a Negroni with Prosecco.
I mean, they're so good. If you don't know who we're talking about, Emma Darcy is in House of the Dragon. They play basically like the blonde mom, but
That's dumbing it down real. They play a empress, should be empress, is
Yes.
badass.
oh yeah, totally badass. I'm just saying, like, if you've watched House of the Dragon and don't know who anyone is, like that's the blonde mom who has like a million kids. But if you look Emma Darcy up, they have like pictures of themselves like with short, like blue brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like totally Kaya. And Kaya like really sort of lends himself to a non-binary character, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, that blue hair is nice.
All right, D. Luke. I chose Domhnall Gleeson, who's in Peter Rabbit, Black Mirror, and the show Run, which I loved and was devastated that it did not get picked up for season 2. He's a natural ginge. He's very handsome.
Oh my one.
So it's Domhnall. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Domhnall Gleeson.
I think so. That's a really good pick, honestly.
Yeah. That's ridiculously good, honest. It just
The question is, how will he look in a high pony? Because that's all I care about.
Mhm.
I feel like he could pull it off as long as there's like something coming down on his face.
I think it'd be great.
All right, Venti, Elliot Page.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's so
Yes.
good.
Yes. Absolutely no other choice.
That is so good. Now, would he be slutty Venti or like traditional Genshin Venti?
He could do both.
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 Absolutely
Or
both.
costume
Yes,
change.
he would.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there's flashbacks in this movie.
I feel like if anyone could pull off Venti's outfit, it's Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The only person who could pull off Venti would be Elliot Page. Venti
Yeah.
is just there is too much to Venti.
Mm.
All right, Dainsleif, Bill Skarsgård.
I'm
Another amazing casting.
I'm too afraid. I'm way
You
too
know
fucking
him as
afraid.
the clown in it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I can't look at him without thinking about it, and it freaks me out.
But if you look at him in IRL,
As I say, soon we'll know him, and hopefully more so for the remake of The Crow. Because as I love The Crow, I love the comic, I love the movie from the 90s, I love the soundtrack, the whole 9 yards. And I was really kind of upset about the fact that they were remaking it. When I look at him, I see a clown now because I'm deathly afraid of them.
so he's playing Brandon Lee.
Yes.
Wow.
And when I look at the cover, like the poster art of it, I'm like, fuck, he looks fantastic.
He was so good in
Mhm.
Barbarian, by the way,
Ooh.
which is like one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time.
Some people might also know Bill Skarsgård from Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
where he plays like a fake superhero that joins Deadpool's team and like throws up vomit, but he's not in it very long. He dies.
I don't feel like
Oh,
I don't feel
shit.
like this is selling him as Dainsleif.
No, it's not. I mean, The Crow is, but not Deadpool.
I just wanted to mention it because it's amazing.
Oh, that's very funny. He's only like it's in the interview part, right?
He gets interviewed, but he also gets signed for the team that Deadpool's putting together. And you know how like they're like X-Force and they like all jump out of that plane. And Domino is like, I really don't think we should jump, guys. The weather's crazy. And Deadpool's like, no, we have to do it.
He's immortal at that point. He doesn't give a fuck.
Every single person on this plane dies except for Deadpool and Domino. And because of the wind. And Deadpool's like, who knew the winds were going to be like this today? And Domino goes, everyone.
Why can't we get a solo movie of just Domino? Because I
Yeah.
can't. I can't if I can't live without her. I cannot.
She's so hot.
But continue on, Brandon.
All right, Barbara, this is my favorite. Sydney Sweeney.
Oh my god.
Trying to kill Jean in her sleep. Perfect.
I mean, she's like so perfect for Barbara. She's like, I'm just like a cute blonde girl, and like I'm here to like save the day and heal people. But then she has this dark underside.
Okay, the way you said that though, you sounded like Trixie. You sounded just like Trixie saying that. Which I mean, like, beautiful.
Thank you. Can I have like millions of dollars now?
Yo, if only. That makes a lot of sense because, like, I've only ever seen her snippets on the internet of her like breakdown. And
In
oh my
Euphoria,
god.
yeah.
She's so good in Euphoria. I've only seen clips too.
Her breakdown in Euphoria is like iconic.
It's like we've all been there and we all felt that so deeply.
She's also in White Lotus.
Mhm.
Gaze, I'm looking at you. Official Kiernan Shipka, aka Sabrina.
Yes.
Yes.
Such a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
This is like an amazing casting that again, it's like Ariana. I just didn't expect it and didn't know I was gonna fall in love.
And then Official's bestie Mona, Olivia Cook, who's also in House of the Dragon, by the way.
Oh my god, that works so good.
But I know her from Bates Motel, which is an amazing show if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I know her from Bates Motel, and she's so good in it. Brandon, I love your movies.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Now, is the plot of your movie just like the Mondstadt like storyline?
Yeah, because in my eyes, I see it as like a series of films. So these are just like my top picks of the Mondstadt characters.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there would be other ones, but I tried to limit myself.
Don't worry, because I'm next, and I've casted some of the other Mondstadt characters.
Of course.
So I did a sci-fi adventure that I thought would be really fun, and it stars basically what I call the alchemy crew of Albedo, Sucrose, Timaeus,
Ooh.
They need
Lee.
a superhero, like
Yeah.
the alchemist. Yeah, the alchemist. Yes. It also has Klee, Alice, and Gold in it. So this is like the main stars of the movie. It's a sci-fi adventure. I'm assuming, Albedo's made of chalk and he decides to become human with the help of Sucrose and Timaeus, and then has to search out for his mother and instead gets help from his aunt. Something like that.
Ooh, so the burning question, who would play Albedo?
So this is really funny. I was telling one of our friends, I was telling Vanessa, who we have had on the show a few times, that we were doing this episode, and she goes, Jeremy Allen White.
Oh my fucking god.
And at first I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God, that is Perfect. Because I think Jeremy Allen White is hot as fuck. And I think Albedo is hot as fuck. No. So Jeremy Allen White, you probably know him as Lip from Shameless or as the main character in The Bear, which I have not seen, so I'm not aware of his name.
I have seen the Bear, but not sure.
Or the Calvin Klein commercial that has been all over the internet.
Now imagine Albedo doing the Calvin Klein commercial.
No, that ruins it.
Yeah, no,
What?
no.
It makes it better.
Mm-mm. But he's short, so it works for Albedo.
It does, yeah. So Jeremy Allen White as Albedo. For Sucrose, I have Maya Hawke, mostly known from Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Then for Timaeus, I have Logan Lerman. He is older now, but he was in these in like Perks of Being a Wallflower or the original Lightning Thief movies.
I was about to be like, was he in Terabithia? And I'm like, wait, no.
No, that's Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, I know. I had the biggest crush on both of them.
Yeah,
Wait.
same.
Wait, Logan Lerman?
Logan Lerman, yeah.
Okay, all right.
How old is he? He's 32.
Yeah, and I think for me, Timaeus is like a little older. So having the Logan Lerman, who is now a little older than he was in Perks and Lightning Thief, I think that'd be a good casting.
I see it. I like that.
For Klee, I have young McKenna Grace. McKenna Grace is now like, I think 18. So I'm talking like her OG kid days. McKenna Grace, you might know from Captain Marvel. She plays young Carol Danvers. In Sabrina, she plays young Sabrina Spellman.
Yeah.
In Young Sheldon, she plays like a character that gets Sheldon in trouble at college. And she also plays the young girl in Gifted with Chris Evans, which is his niece in it.
Oh,
Literally, she's everything.
I remember her. Oh my God. Wait, I kept confusing her with Kiernan.
Because she plays young Kiernan Shipka in Sabrina.
Yeah, she's too old now, but
Yeah. And also she's in Hill House, Haunting of Hill House as well.
ugh.
I think I forget the name of her, but I think she plays the younger version of the sister who always has the gloves on.
Theo.
Theo, yes. So then for Alice, because I think Alice would kind of be like a very youthful woman despite her possible age, but I also think she'd be spry and fun. So I gave her Brie Larson.
Yes.
So Brie Larson, I would assume most people know, but Captain Marvel, she is Captain Marvel. She is in United States of Terra, and she's also in Room.
Room is so incredible, by the way.
Such a beautiful movie, and the
Yeah.
book is heartbreaking too.
She's really good. I like that.
And lastly, for Gold, I'm sticking with United States of Terra, and I'm casting Toni Collette for Gold.
My
As
God.
a villain.
Yes, as well, possible villain. But so she's Terra in United States of Terra, and she also plays the mom in Hereditary.
She's very good at being unhinged.
There's only been one scene where I've actually been fucking terrified in a movie, and it's been Hereditary. And if you know the floating scene, then
Yeah.
you fucking know.
Oh, really? Not the I'm in the corner of the room on the ceiling.
See, I was kind of expecting that. I mean, not like the aftermath, but the way the body was moving. Spoiler, she cuts off her head and is still alive. And, you know, there's a reference to Paimon.
Yes, King
Yeah.
Paimon is worshipped.
Just the fact, like, of how is such great cinematography of how they show it. But the headless body of the mom flies up into the treehouse. And it is so...
Yeah. That director's so good.
I was kind of giggling at that part because I was just like losing my mind, I think. Like when the whole car scene happened earlier on, which I think
Oh, God, yeah.
That's the real iconic scene from that.
Yes. And if you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. And I had gone to see it in theaters with a friend who had already seen it.
Oh,
So
my
she
God.
was kind of like sitting evilly, like rubbing her hands
She's
together,
like,
like, yes.
Watch.
So we were sitting in the back row, and when this scene in the car happened, I literally sat on the edge of my seat. Like I never understood what it meant to sit on the edge of your seat until this moment. And I never left the edge of my seat. So that's my little live action sci-fi adventure where Albedo tries to become a real boy.
Now, when I think of Toni Collette, my first thought is Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, I've never
Aw.
seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
My first thought for her is actually United States of Terra. That was the first time I ever saw
Yeah,
her.
that's my first thought. She was so good in that.
The whole family's great in that show. They're all amazing. But she plays like 9 characters.
Yeah.
So, but Tiff, what about your live action movie?
So I kind of split it into a couple genres, but my movies would be the actual telling of the story that we know in Genshin, just kind of in a couple little different tropes. So for a romance movie, it would be about Nabu, Destra, and Rukkhadevata. Nabu would be Zendaya. I always want to say it wrong. King Destra would be Camille Nanjiani.
Oh.
If you don't know who he is, you need to. But he's in Silicon Valley, and he's also he's a stand-up comedian, and he has a movie called The Big Sick, which is actually based on how he met his wife.
Good.
And it's fantastic.
It's a really good movie.
Have you seen him in Stuber?
No.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's in so much stuff.
And then for Rukkhadevata, that would be Margot Robbie.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Wait, who would be Nahida? Margot Robbie as a child?
I didn't go that far. I went to just the thruple of the romance thruple. So
I really love that.
I mean, Margot Robbie, I guess, would be Nahida as well, because they look identical.
Well, yeah, now they can just sort of de-age people.
Yeah. For my other movie, it would be a chick flick kind of comedy, like Best Friends. So therefore, of course, it would be Mona and Fischl.
Yeah.
So Mona would be the older, wiser Sandra Bullock. And then Fischl would be the hysterical Jennifer Lawrence.
I love that.
Is this practical magic?
I just think Jennifer Lawrence, she's just so funny. So I think she would really like do a lot for that
Hell yeah.
kind of role. So then my action adventure type would bring us over into Fontaine. And it would be Wriothesley and Nouvellette being Henry Cavill and Tom Hiddleston.
Oh my fucking
And when I
God,
thought of
yes.
it, I was like, I need this so bad.
Wait, who is Tom Hiddleston? I'm assuming Henry Cavill is Wriothesley.
Yes. And Tom Hiddleston would be Nouvellette. Come on.
Yeah.
You can
Make
now see
out,
Loki pretending to be Nouvellette, right? Like the moment it just hit you. And Henry Cavill, oh my God, that man, he really is perfect.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then his accent too. It's like, oh, dreamy. So then my other movie would bring us over to Inazuma. It would be a cop comedy, like a bad cop, good cop. So it'd be Ito, which would be Ryan Reynolds, and Kujo Sara, that would be Ruby Rose.
Yes, I love that.
I have an obsession with Ruby Rose. I'm very upset that she's not on the Batwoman show anymore. She had one season and then they got rid of her. But she's fantastic. She's in a lot of different movies, and I'm sure everybody knows who Ryan is.
She triggers your sexuality.
Yeah. She was also in Orange is the New Black, and I was just like, oh.
No, we all know. We all
She's like
had
the
that
current
moment.
Angelina Jolie,
Yes.
where it's like she turns straight women.
We walked around Comic-Con. She was gonna be there, and I walked around with Sandra, and I was like, well, we have to go see my wife. I need to find her. And then my last movie would be a superhero type movie. First, I was like, the superhero would be Zhang Li, because he seems like he would, his story could be like a superhero one. But then I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe Kazuha. But either way, it would be Matt Bomer. And because it was Matt Bomer, therefore he needed to show his ass. Because if there's one thing that Matt Bomer does in every fucking movie he is in, his naked ass is in it. And on stage,
of course, too. Like they know what they're doing. They're like, we need views.
Well, remember we went to see the Boys in the Band?
Yeah, he was really good in Boys in the Band. He's actually a very good actor.
He is. He was fantastic too in American Horror Story. Jordan, is he in Hotel?
Yeah, Hotel.
And then we saw him. Well, he's in the movie version of Boys in the Band as well, but on stage we got to see his naked butt in person. His face is also nice, but.
Oh my God.
He's also in Fellow Travelers, which is really good.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but that looks so good.
It's very good. And you get to watch him have sex with a man in that. So recommend.
As long as you see his ass, I'm there. I mean, it's in his contract, I think. So yeah, those are my so like I said, it would all be the real story. It would just kind of have each one would have a little different take to it.
Ooh. Well, unfortunately, none of our movies made it to the Oscars this year, which I think is complete bullshit. Maybe next year we'll be able to, I know some of our movies had sequels, so hopefully we'll be able to get our movies into the scene. But we do know who is actually nominated for Best Actor and Best Actress this year. So we're going to run through the list and see what Genshin characters we would cast in these roles that these actors and actresses played. So we're going to start with Best Actress because that's what I decided. So
Mhm.
our first nominee is Emma Stone in Poor Things.
Have any of us seen it? I have not.
I have seen the trailer.
I've seen clips.
It looks good. I want to say out of the movies that are up and you just have actors or are up for Best Picture, that one probably has me most intrigued, but I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I want to see it for sure.
That one and Killer Moons of the Flower are the two I really wanted to see that I
Mhm.
haven't.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
I mean, I was close.
What did you say?
No.
Killer Moons of the Flower?
Killer Moon. What a
Attack of the Killer Moons.
Listen, I tried.
Can I say, I watched the trailers to get a sense of the character they're playing and based it off of that rather than the actors.
I did that too.
Okay,
Even though
good.
it was my idea, like we have to go by the actors because we have not seen these films. But then I actually like looked up descriptions
Mhm.
of like these characters, and I was like, I'm gonna go by that. So there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, and I'm like, I love Paul Giamatti, but I don't know who could fit this role for Paul Giamatti.
Well, we're not going to Paul Giamatti. We are starting with Emma Stone
Emma Stone,
in
yeah.
Poor Things.
Official.
Yes.
That's what I said too.
I said Kokomi.
I can see Kokomi doing it.
I can also see that.
So we have 3 officials and a Kokomi. I think that's amazing. I put
Wow.
official because I knew a little bit about the character. That's like one of the few I knew.
She's basically Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
She's learning how to be a human, but she's living life to like her best reality and she's all up in her like own world and I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so fun. So next up on the Best Actress list, we have Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon.
No, Killer Moons of the Flower.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Thank you. I had a hard time with this because the character Lily Gladstone plays is quite like reserved and also very much like a traditionalist when it comes to her culture. And I like kept thinking of Candace through all of it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And though like Candace is kind of like, I wouldn't say she's a matriarch of Aru Village.
I would say that.
Yeah, I would too, actually.
And also like she's just badass and like she isn't, you know, like Deha is like super powerful and is gonna show you, but Candace is more like, I don't have to step on you. I
Yeah.
don't have to do it. I can do it from like 8 feet back, like shit like that.
I think Candace makes a lot of sense. I actually went with Kokomi.
Oh, see, Kokomi. She's around somewhere.
They have the schemer mind
But they're also like fierce protectors of their
people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is why I went with
Yep.
Catherine.
With who?
Catherine, the leader.
Ad Astra.
Yes, our hidden leader. That's going to be my other fake spinoff of Genshin, is that it's all run by Catherine.
You have not finished your commissions for the day and you cannot collect. Hey up, bitch.
That's so interesting, Tiff. I love that.
I put Kaching. I gotta same idea,
Ooh.
protector character.
I like that
but
too. Yeah. She protected Liwei, so
Mhm.
Your next nominee is Annette Bening in Naiad. For this one, I put Jinyun, aka Human Cloud Retainer.
ooh, I like that.
Human cloud retainer. Wait, oh, I did the same thing, actually. I said cloud retainer.
Oh, you did? You
I did. Yeah.
That's
All
so
of a sudden,
funny.
I was like, wait a second. I went with actual cloud retainer. I didn't picture her as the bird, but I also can't get used to not calling her cloud retainer.
Yeah, I also went human form. No
I'm
bird.
sure she could turn into a fish.
I mean, that's the whole point with all the fucking shit that goes on.
I said Ningguang because lesbian icon.
I went opposite. I went Beto because
You went opposite. You mean you went with her girlfriend?
I went with the girlfriend mostly because this is like a physical feat. And you remember in Beto's, in her lore, she's like fighting this water dragon for like fucking
Mhm.
days.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was imagining.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Beto is like queen of the sea.
Yeah. And I kind of like when I was watching the trailers and when I was watching Jodie Foster, I'm like, Jodie Foster is just Ningguang energy.
So I actually watched that movie and I went back and forth and I was like, no, I guess I'm going to do Ningguang as Annette Bening and Jodie Foster would be Beta.
Yeah, it's a hard toss up between them. Like it could go either way because they both are like very strong women.
Yeah.
But I went specifically just because of like the 6 hour like swim, and like as someone who grew up in competitive swim, I don't even want to do a 500 relay race anymore, let alone swim from Florida to Cuba.
I didn't know that about you, Al. That's so fascinating.
Yeah, best stroke is backstroke. That sounded sexual. No, I just suck at breaststroke and fly. I can't do it, but free. I've gotten a lot of first place ribbons in free and back.
Well, very nice there, guys. Our next actress up for a nominee is Carrie Mulligan.
I love her.
From Maestro.
Can I just say that? She's in Promising Young Woman and I can't get over it. And I
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
love it so much. She's so fantastic in it.
Yeah, she was really good in that.
Mm.
I have not seen Maestro.
Neither have I.
I remember her as Daisy from The Great Gatsby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who hates Daisy from The Great Gatsby, this was a little hard because I put Jean in there.
I put Jean too.
Right. And the reason I did was because of the scene where basically she's realizing like everyone wanted her husband's attention, and like she's like, that was never what I wanted, but it really was, but it wasn't, but it was. And I'm like, this reminds me of Jean a lot. And it also reminded me of Barbara because I saw you put Bob's.
I did put Barbara, yes.
Because like the whole why is everyone clamoring for this man's attention type of thing. And I instantly thought of like, if Barbara got all her father's attention, is Jean upset that she never had Seamus at all ask her about her, recognize her, and care?
I went with Nilu because she's an entertainer.
Yeah.
Don't hate Carrie Mulligan, Feeny.
No, what do you mean? I was gonna say that's what I did Barbara for too. Like the entertainment factor.
No, I said because I'm assigning Nilu to her.
Oh, well, I was ignoring that. It's your fault for giving
She's
her
like,
a
I didn't
shitty
even hear it.
character.
It did not register in my ears.
No, I don't process those things. I ignore them.
I don't process.
And if it's spelt in a certain way, my brain can't physically process it anymore. Sorry, but not sorry. Anyway, whoever that was.
Tiff.
Mine was Jean as well.
So, okay, interesting. So we have two Jeans, a Barbara, and an unknown. Brandon couldn't decide.
Right. All right. Ermin Soul got edited. Got it.
And my Ermin Soul was edited. Our final contender for the Oscar nomination of Best Actress is Sandra Hüller from Anatomy of a Fall.
I watched that movie and it was so good.
Yeah.
It was very good. You should watch it. And I picked.
Before we talk about the candidates, I just want to say that I don't trust any movie Brandon recommends. Because the last time Brandon recommended, okay, not the last time, I did enjoy the last movie we watched, which was Dix the Musical.
I still have nightmares about the Sewer Boys.
It's amazing. But before that, Brandon one night at like 2 a.m. just pops into a Discord server that we were in, and he's like, watch this movie. He puts on Titan,
Titan, yeah.
which we've talked about a little bit on this before, but basically a girl fucks a car and gets pregnant.
And I streamed that movie in Discord.
Yeah, you were, but it was like in the middle of the night. You were like, I'm watching this and you guys should watch it.
Yeah, I had not seen it before. I was not recommending it. I was like, I'm watching this movie because I heard it was good.
Wait, then who the fuck put on the movie of the French orgy?
That was also Brandon.
Probably me, yeah.
I think it happened in the same movie.
Was that
Actually.
No.
Yeah.
She's
It
thinking
wasn't
of another
Titan.
one.
I'm thinking of the other one where
They were like locked in the room.
they're locked in the room and one of them is like is terminally ill and actively dying.
Oh, yeah, I think that was me.
That was insanity.
It sounds like me, terminally ill, someone dying, and then there's a French orgy. That's me.
Well, I was just thinking what movie that was, and I'll add it on the site.
I used to just stream movies as I was watching them. So
It would be amazing.
you're welcome for stopping that.
No, I honestly miss it. I would laugh so much sometimes. So please bring it back. Anywho, you said who was your nominee?
Chevreuse.
Ooh, okay. Why?
She's sort of just unreadable in a way. Like she has her own sort of sense of morality, and you don't really get a feel for her. I mean, I know that's not like Sandra Huller, but yeah, that was my pick.
I put Frederica. I know we haven't met her officially, but it was giving me Frederica vibes.
I don't know. With what I saw of the trailer, I went with B's of how like she's very unreadable. So I went with the Ride and Shogun.
That's a good one.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Going through and watching this trailer and like her interview and like that one of the scenes where she's basically in a very heavy German accent, just screaming. I'm like, yeah, no, this would be the Shogun.
Yeah, she's very unreadable. Her whole character, like the whole concept of the movie is
Someone was maybe not pushed out of a third-story window.
yeah, and you find out that she was like being abused by the man that fell out of the window. And so the whole movie, you don't know if she did it on purpose or if he just fell.
I love that shit.
Well, if
I
she
love
did it good for her.
Exactly.
I went with Ningguang.
Ooh, that's another good one.
I could totally see that.
Oh yeah, if it was Ningguang, we know she pushed him.
And she would be unreadable about it. She'd be like, nope, I did not do it.
Exactly. There would be no evidence. There would be no forensic details that lead her back to her.
Well, those are our nominees for Best Actress. And hopefully, we'll find out soon who's going to win those. But now we are on to Best Actor of the Year. Dun, 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 dun. So our first nominee is Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers.
Okay, hear me out. When I watched the trailer, I was fully expecting this to be a second rendition of Dead Poet Society, right?
Right.
Until there's a very specific line of a kid being like, but I can't fail this class. And Paul Giamatti's character is like, oh, Georgie, or whatever the fuck his name is. No, I think if you try hard enough, you really can. And I'm like, Al Haytham is because of how he's like, Al Haytham always is sarcastic. There is nothing like, he is sarcasm incarnate when it comes to this bullshit. And abso-fucking-lutely, Al Haytham would be that teacher. I can imagine him at the academia and people are like, I'm gonna fail my class. I really need help with this essay. And he's like, you should have opened a book. Or like something stupid. And I love it. Yeah, Al Haytham, that's my pick.
I went sort of a similar route, but I chose Wriothesley.
Yes!
Because, he runs the school of the prison in Fontaine. And I could see him sort of like, well, here, children, but also like, nope. He's like the warden and the teacher,
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
I did not know this movie at all. I just went by Paul Giamatti in general, and he gave me real Stanley vibes. Like he's on everything, so he's always there. But there's ever so often like he becomes like the spotlight where you're like, oh, I really like that fucking guy. And to me, that's real Stanley.
R.I.P.
You're talking about the Mondstadt character?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's died.
The one that died in Mari Javari. That fake Stanley is pretending to be.
Oh, fucking G.
He has like a beard, a brown hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real and fake Stanley, I guess, together. I'm going to put them together.
I went with Sucrose.
Sucrose.
Sucrose. Yes, absolutely.
Out of my mouth. I went with Crepus.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up the character and tried to get a vibe based off that. So I went with Crepus.
That makes sense. That's what we were supposed to do.
It's okay. Our next nominee for Best Actor of the Year is Bradley Cooper in Maestro. He had a lot of negative feedback originally with this.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yes, because of his nose prosthetic.
Oh.
He's playing a Jewish character, I believe. Yeah.
But doesn't he already have like a
A very
noticeable
distinct nose. Yeah.
Wait, is he playing like a real person though?
Yes, it's based off a true story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he looks more like the person?
Yes, because of the prosthetic. So
I went with Venti because I think it's hilarious to think of Bradley Cooper acting like Venti, and it's musical based. So
I don't know why. Because the scenes, just imagining Venti at a piano with a cigarette. Just like,
imagine Bradley Cooper dressed as Venti doing anything. And it's
oh my gosh, with that. Oh shit, the puffy bloopers.
I went with D-Luke, mainly because Bradley Cooper is like that actor that a lot of people swoon over.
Mm.
I swoon.
And I feel like D-Luke is the swooner.
Very classic. Yeah.
I said I'll hate them. I
Oh.
also was kind of thinking like a swoony, dreamy,
Yeah.
classic guy.
I went with Kave.
Kave!
Ave.
Hear me
Wow.
out. So I said Kave for two very specific reasons. He is a creative, and he is also a prisoner to his creative talent.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so, like, because Kave, as we know his downfall, building a beautiful palace bankrupted him.
Yeah, that makes sense. He like suffers for his art.
Yeah, and it kind of came to like that type of a comparison, but also the way Bradley Cooper portrayed this character, the voice kind of just made me keep thinking of Ben, the voice actor who does Kave. And I'm like,
Just Bradley Cooper with a long blonde wig.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he's got, beautiful Art Deco shit everywhere. I don't know. I saw art, creative, suffering, doing some stupid shit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. Interesting. I don't know if I like it, but interesting. Our next nominee for Best Actor at the Oscars is Coleman Domingo in Rustin.
I love Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's good in everything he's in.
He's also queer.
Hell yes!
I do want to say that Coleman and Jeffrey Wright were both very hard to pick from because there's such a lack of melanin in the game. So it felt like wrong picking people,
I know.
Yeah.
but that's my disclaimer. But that's not our fault.
That's Genshin's fault.
Yeah, fuck Genshin. No, I love you.
We love it. Just make these characters dark.
Give us dark characters.
It's like, we know you can do it.
skin-wise. Yeah.
Y'all, if Fortnite can make some amazing goddamn skins, there's no
Let's
reason.
not talk about that
Okay,
trash
never mind.
game.
I
Anyway.
like, have you not seen like high key the best like dark toned character skins in all of video games is in Fortnite, and it's amazing the variety that we have. It's so good.
Well, I would argue that there's a lot of very good video games that like allow you to choose all kinds of skin tones.
That's true.
I think I'll say no, like Fortnite's a gotcha, like
like
out of the
in the
gotcha
gotcha
options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because if we can like creating our own character to be able to be looking like us, there's many beautiful games, Baldur's Gate, that will do that. But when it comes to like you have a character that you're like either trying to do gotcha on, because like being on my soapbox, the only one we have that really is kind of dark toned, I mean, we've got two, and that's Sino and Jinyan and Candace, and depending on the lighting, they look very white.
Yeah.
Like very whitewashed. And as we know, as we've discussed in our lore, Sumeru is based off of multiple regions of our own world, specifically the Arab Peninsulas and also India and Malaysia. Very dark toned skin.
Yeah, it makes me think of Nilu.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck?
Who? Tiff? I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
It was a slight
No,
about Nilu, so you should have actually
Who?
liked that one.
Who?
She doesn't recognize that name. So
The
it's fine.
Ermin Soul has taken that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But anyway,
Coleman Domingo.
yes, who
I picked Zhangli for Coleman Domingo, and I think a lot of
Ah.
it has to do with I love one of my favorite characters that Coleman has played. We're best friends now, so I just go by on a first name basis. He was in, or I guess actually still is, in Fear the Walking Dead, which he
Yes.
actually plays a queer character in that show as well.
A bisexual, which is very rare for TV.
He plays Victor, right?
He's fantastic, and he's a little like schemy, but he's also like, you find out that he's actually got this really good side of him, and then he it's just, he's fantastic. But his booming voice, I think, also did it for me. And I guess it's more so not Zhang Li as much as his voice actor, but it just felt very Zhang Li.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
I picked Baiju. I really
Oh.
didn't know a lot about the character or the movie or the actor, but I don't know. It was something about the glasses. And so I picked Baiju.
Huh. Okay.
So I went with Sing Show. I know I haven't seen Rustin, but Pullman is an activist in it. So I went with Sing Show because I could see him being an activist, but I almost picked D-Luke because of like the stature.
Right.
Mhm.
Coleman Domingo is not a twink.
Right.
No, no.
Yeah, I went with like Sing Show because like I could see him being like standing, well, first of all, gay, but also like standing up for what's right, and fighting for it. So, but yeah, Coleman's not a twink.
Truer words have never been spoken.
I picked Wriothesley.
Ooh, I can see
Ooh.
that.
And specifically because there is a point of like getting justice with him. And also in my head, I canonically think of Wriothesley as either bisexual or pansexual. So he all over that new
heads.
Oh yeah, and a lot of heads. A lot of Nouvelette dick. And when watching the trailers of how Coleman portrayed Bayard, oh my god, it felt so easy to put Wriothesley in that role as well. Like just
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense.
paste him in there.
Okay. Our next nominee for Oscars Best Actor is Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Albedo.
I have such mixed feelings.
I too have mixed feelings because I don't even think Albedo is that thin.
I put Kaveh because I was like when I was making my Kaveh in The Sims, I was like, Kaveh's malnourished, so he's really he doesn't take care of himself. And so I put Kaveh.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
If someone was going to, create the atom bomb, it would be Albedo.
It would be gold.
Or Klee.
Or I would like to say the other person who would do it would be Ayato, who's I chose.
Oh.
No, because
Because
he's
I
so
could
sad.
totally see Ayato creating the atomic bomb.
As Cillian Murphy for sure, yeah.
I feel so bad. I put D-Luke.
I think with
Wow.
Cillian Murphy too, like he has such a structured face.
Oh, it's
Uh-huh.
mhm.
So it's like I don't know, it felt very Ayato to me.
Injections.
Yeah. I didn't say a natural structured face, but it is a structured face.
Those cheekbones.
I think he actually has that face, but it looks like injections.
Yeah.
Well, he did pull a Christian Bale.
Oh, really?
He lost so much weight.
Oh, I thought you meant like he cursed someone out on set.
No. He lost, I can't remember. It was it was an insane amount of weight. And he's a pretty tall guy. And that's because the person he's portraying.
Like the name of the movie?
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I couldn't remember the first name.
As you would say, the titular character.
Titular character.
The titty character.
But he, while creating the bomb, he was really sick. He was, what was he suffering from? Was he suffering from cancer?
I have not seen it, and I tried to not pay attention to that dark shit.
Honestly, that's pretty fine. That's what he had. He had tuberculosis because that's why they were in Arizona.
He's a TB queen.
Yes, he was a TV queen. Oh my god. Fun fact. I don't know if you learned this in the movie. I've not seen it. One of the reason that they decided to do the nuclear testing in the desert is because the air was dry and like clear enough for Oppenheimer to actually like try and recover from tuberculosis.
Oh,
Like, you know how a
interesting.
lot of people would go to Colorado because of the fresh air and like being a mile up in the sky, and like it's better technically for them. Exactly why. That's one of the only reasons why they chose Arizona.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting it confused? Did people end up going in the iron lung for tuberculosis?
No, that's polio.
Polio. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
Wrong disease.
I looked it up and you can get the iron lung in multiple colors. So
Oh,
You
really?
can, as long as you like green, orange,
I think there was a red one.
Yeah, it's just like it's a fire truck red.
And I could, if you ever, end up in an iron lung, guys, I could cricket something cute for it. So
Oh, that's good to
Oh,
know.
fuck yeah.
Wow.
just so you know,
No, I want you to put all the Genshin stickers on it. That's what you're going to do.
I will make sure that if you ever need to be in an iron lung, that it's beautiful.
I don't think
That's
any
so
of us will do
kind.
that. But
Anyway, everyone went, right?
yeah, I said D-Luke, and I have no justification other than like I feel like D-Luke, had he not had his like exploration of everything after his father died, he probably would have made something like we have to, get ahead of our enemies and realize, but at what cost? At what cost did we do that? And that was all I thought.
Lastly, we have our final nominee for Best Actor at the 2024 Oscars, Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction.
Xingqiu. Xingqiu all the fucking way.
Because he's an author.
Yes, one, he's an author, and two, I love the idea of this movie. I've not been able to sit down and actually watch it.
Like, can you describe the premise for those that don't know?
She's another Black author, but the language she uses is very
It's like stereotypical. So
Yeah,
he's a
super
fantastic author
stereotypical.
who can write beautiful stuff, but his stuff isn't like selling until he writes what would be considered a stereotypical Black author, Black story type of thing. And then he gets notoriety for that. And he's kind of like, what the fuck? That's my interpretation, my synopsis.
It's a really good satire on like what language and what we expect of authors, because for a very long time Black authors were really only seen writing a particular genre. There was a lot of like sports action, there was a lot of like sport romance, and trust me, there are many more Black authors who are writing epic fantasy, amazing sci-fi.
But who would be like the Black author that writes a satire that gets super popular and propels them into fame? Because I went with Kaveh. Because that
Ooh.
would totally happen to Kaveh.
Got the other side of that duo. I think I also went with Al Haytham because when I think of Jeffrey Wright, while I know, we're basing it on the movies, I've constantly gone back to other things I know him from. And he's the very smart guy in Westworld as well. And that just fits for Al Haytham for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're really smart dude.
Draft.
No.
the meat.
Well, I didn't know the plot very well. And I just looked up the actor.
I'm so glad that you looked at Jeffrey Wright and went giraffe.
You're like, that's a cat person.
I kind of I see Draft though as like this rugged like hunter guy.
Yeah.
Like that was just where my head went. I think for me, like especially with the guys, it was very hard because all of these actors are like normal sized. And for the most part, like Genshin's just full of twinks.
Or really booby men. Maybe. But also, Jeffrey Wright has some big ass cake, and he's delicious.
And who's saying that Draft doesn't?
True.
I do.
Oh.
Draft might have cake.
Are you attracted to Draft?
No, I actually want to punch him half the
Oh,
time because of the
wow.
way he treats his daughter, but
Why do you hate Jeffrey Wright?
because he's not a twink.
If Amanda likes him, it's going to be a twink.
You heard it here first, y'all.
It's true.
Amanda has a type.
I have a type. We all know this. What did I say the other day? I was like, I think so and so has a boyfriend, I think. And they're like, no, he's married to a woman. And I was like, what? And then someone said something and they're like, and I was like, oh, I guess I wasn't attracted to them. I should have known that they were straight.
Wow. The ultimate hag.
But
Love it.
we don't know who's going to win because the Oscars haven't come out yet. But we will be following up during the Oscars and hopefully seeing if any of our faves won. Someone has to win. We casted them all. So we'll see who was wrong and who was right in a way.
In a way.
In a way. But thank you, travelers, for hanging out with us today. We are so excited to come back for this little short special episode. We will be back March 27th with season 4 of Tales of Teyvat. And we are so excited to bring it back to you. In the meantime, you can feel free to follow us at Tales of Teyvat Pod on Instagram or Tales of Teyvat on Twitter. You can email us at talesoftevatpod@gmail.com to let us know what you think of this week's episode, who you would cast as these characters, or what actors or actresses you've always imagined playing your favorite characters. We'd love to hear all about
let
it.
us know.
Additionally, you can feel free to follow us on YouTube, where we will put up any Twitch streams and other fun things that we have done, including cutscenes from the game. You can follow us on Ko-Fi, where you can buy us a cup of coffee, or you can just hang out with us, re-listen to some old episodes. Until then, travelers, safe journeys. We'll see you next time.
Bye, film nerds.
What's like the Oscar song?
Is there an
Let's
Oscar
go up
song?
because we talked
Is
too
there? I
long.
think it's just like